one side, right? Yes. Sure. Yeah. Shalom, Israel. We are the ISUPK that one West on the street. I'll be your the commanding general Hannah. I'll place an officer your card, this place an officer. But right, and today we're going to do what the Lord has ordained us to do, to continue to do, which is continue to do the Lord's will, continue to conduct the Sabbath and all the other high holidays as it's laid down in the scriptures. Right? With that said, multiple things to stand. Sir, Lashala to Israel. Sir, sir. Except my open up and down, the right hand face the east. So I will choose the two. So the Lord's Prayer in Hebrew. Manwa, Shamashamayam, Pagda, Ya, Shaka, Yahau, Walapaka, Sabaka, Zaka, Ya, Aisha, Baharasa, Kuwa, Aya, Shamai, Natan, Lanawa, Lakam, Ka, Yawam, Wasalakno, Kawatno, Kasalakno, Kawatno, Wala, Tabianawa, Wanasay Won, Bo, Awashino, Yun, Ra, Ya, Laka, Amalakwa, Wahala, Tapara, in the English said, Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, Yahweh, thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, forgive us our debts, as we forgive our debtors, and lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever to be. But it said, the Hakah and the power, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Baruch Shai, defend the now, Hakah, Rapa'ah, Hala, Kama the wall, Haka, Aha, and is a right, Haka, Lahakoyam, Matayam, Haka, Ira, Amata Allah, Harashan, Bahashem, Yahweh, Warahma. The things that Lord, the name of your child, please give us the power, or the heal, all manner of sickness, all manner of disease, the power to cleanse the leper, the power to raise the dead, the power to lead unclean spirits, to cast them out, in the name of your child. Thank you. So here. Let's say, bless Israel. Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Barak Now, Bayashal, Habayat, Sapari, Barak, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Wad Haman. In English, said, Lord, in the name of your Shai, bless us at Israel and the school. In the name of your Shai, thank you. So here. Psalm 121 in Hebrew. Asha'ah, Bayanyan, Al-Hariyam, Ahayan, Lawa'ah, Zari, Yem, Howard, Shah, Shamayam, Rakisa, Ayatan, Mubas, Ragal, Ayaman, Shamar, Na, La'a, Lanawam, Ala'a, Yashem, Shamama, Yashal, Yahweh, Shamar, Yahweh, Tizal, Ayah, Yamyanka, Yawama, Hashama, Sha'a, Yakaka, Wayabra, Balayal, Yahweh, Shamar, Makara, Yashama, Asnaspuka, Yahweh, Yashama, Tazahaska, Kabawaka, Mayata, Ali, Iman. In English, I will lift my eyes unto the hills from whence cometh my help. My help comes from the Lord, which made heaven and earth. Do not suffer life to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. Behold, the keeper of Israel shall not slumber nor sleep. The Lord is thy keeper, the Lord is the shade upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite by day, nor the moon by night. The Lord shall preserve thee from all evil, shall preserve thy soul. The Lord shall preserve thy going out and thy coming in. This time before, even forevermore. Psalm 83 in the Hebrew. Alahayim, al the Mayalaka, al the Tupa, al Kayakuna, Wayamyaka, the Hamayawan, the Mashanayaka, Shanayarash, I Maka, Ariamwa, Sabada, the Akizawan, I Tapawanka, Mara, Kawa, Kakadam, Gary, Malaka, Wazaka, Shakish Hala, Iwa, Ya, Akizawan, Laba, Yaka, Salaki Laba, Lakaro, Alaka, Ariak, Rasta, Ahaliya, One, Ayashima Alayam, our Abba, Wahagarain, the Bar, Anyone, Amala, Palashat, I get Sabi, as a war, Gan Pashawa, Alawa, Imam, Haliwa, Salawai, Watsala, Salaham, Amadian, Silasaya, Kayabia, Banaka, Yashua, Ashamaru, Yan, Ra, Wa, Man, Dam, Chayatamwa, Bawa, Ira, Zaba, Zaba, Wakata, Almasiakamwa, Shah, Mara, Rasha, Alawa, Nawa, Lahayim, Shayatamwa, Galgala, Apash, Lapani, Raka, Apash, Lamahir, the Iron, Kanahava, Salamat, Oriam, Kansaradakna, Aswai, Obasa, Wapata, Tabahala, Malaka, Pangaham, Palawan, Yapapashwa, Shanka, Yahawa, Yabasa, Yabahala, Hai, or the power, Yabalu, Yabayu, Yafa, Shanka, Yahawa, Alaka, Alkaha, that's in English. So keep not aside the ball, for not thy peace, and be not still a ball, for lo, enemies make it to mount, did I hear you have lifted up the head, they took the crafty counsel against thy people, consulted against thy hidden. They have said, come and let us cut them off, the nation, the name of Israel will be no more in remembrance, but they have consulted together with one consent, they confederate against you, the tabernacles of Edom, and the Ishmaelites of Moab, and Hagarees, the Baal, Ammon, Amalek, and the Philistines, the inhabitants of Tyre, the served that were with them, the children of Mount Salah, who unto them, unto the Midianites, to Sisera, the village, the book of Kisum, which perished at Endor, they came out down from the goods, made them know like hurricane, sea, yea, all their princes and fathers, Amun, Seth, the state door Seth, so the word possession. Oh my God, make them like a weed, there's something before the wind, the fire burning the wood, the flame, something among us on fire. So basically, them like tempest, and they are filled like storm. Fear their face with shame that they may see anymore. And then we confound them to forever, yea, and then we put to shame and perish, and we know. No, the Lord is Yahweh, who is high. But say, ISBPK says, blessed be Yahweh, because heaven and earth of his living. Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shai, he sees us now, right now, the evils and curses, and punishment and destruction to the heathen that speak against us, the prophets, the teachers, the princes, the priests, the Israelite brothers, the school, the evils and curses, and punishment and destruction to the heathen, should lose the treasure of the rich of Israel, which is the school, force their riches to the into that sanctuary, the evils and curses, and punishment and destruction to the Edomites, the nation, the drug dealers, the court system, the prison system, Planned Parenthood, all the governments of our enemies, election broken armies, the Catholic Church, the Pope, Islam, Christianity, Catholicism, religion, the Quran, Aryan nation, skinheads, the Mutas, the gay movement, lesbian, inspired because of witchcraft, as a Facebook, army, navy, air force, read, worship, from the internet and the areas, the hero access channels, and the reader channels, but with the spirit of many of the people and seek to stop us and bring swift destruction of all the heathen that stand in the way, or try to stop us from casting the words through the planet earth. Let them lose all the plagues, cause them to go through and through the earth, consume them. Let the plague shoot the house of the people. And the murder, let the Hawashka, Mike, and Gabriel, government sources, and punish all the heathen that stand in the way. So that punish all the heathen that come against us, as we speak that word, to be known by all, the aliens that have done it, for it to be spread through the media, through the whole world, for them to shake up coming. In the name of your child. Thank you. So much. So, two. Sharia, which means to be seated. So today we're going to continue the reading. Continue to do what somebody Most High has taught us to do. That is to observe, understand, the role of the Most High. Okay, so we have to continue to do the work of the nation. We have the So we're going to continue reading today in the book of Leviticus chapter 25 from verse 11. Yes, I don't know 25. And we're going to read both Hebrew and English. This one. As we know, we see exactly how the world is changing, right? The world is rapidly changing for Black, Hispanics, and Native Indians. And we continue to see how these systems, rules, and laws that are in this world continue to try to oppress Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, right? And we're going to see even more now, you understand, how our law, you understand, which the Most High gave us in these scriptures, is how more important it is to help, you understand, the society of Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, and how it's going to, give us the relief and the understanding and the protection that we need in these scriptures. And in these times where we're going through all these different issues against Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, we're going to continue to see how relevant these laws are to the Blacks, Hispanics, and the Native Indians who are the children of Israel. So go ahead and start.
Okay. Book of Leviticus 25 and verse 11. A jubilee.
You have the text. I'll set up it. So I will send them the copy and can I watch it? Yeah, I'll send you video. Yeah, also. So I'll send you the PDF now. So now, go to page 105.
Yes.
Start to see. And read the first section.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This one. So I'll start the first one and by going download. Right? So you continue reading the book of Leviticus, chapter 25 and verse 1. Wayabal, Hawa'a, Shanath, Akamashia, Shana, Tahaya, Lakam, La'a, Tazaraiwa, Wala'a, Sapatazawa, A, Sapayakawa, Wala'a, Sabatazarawa, A, Nazara, verse 12, Ya, Yawabal, Hawa'a, Padash, Tahaya, Lakam, Nama, Savaman, Hashada, Sa'awa, Sa'aka, Lawa, Af, Sabawa'asa, verse 13, Washanath, Hayawabal, Hazaha'asa, Tashabawa, Ayash, Allah, Akazatawa, verse 14, Wahaya, Samaka, Rawa, Manakara, La'ayanoyaf, Ka, Awa, Kwan, Maya, I'm a yard, Ka, Washanata, Hayawaba, Azahata, Tashabawa, Ayash, Allah, Akazatawa, Kaya, Wakaya, Tamakarawa, Mamakara, Aimayasaka, Awa, Pana, Mayad, Aimayasaka, Allah, Sawanawa, Ayash, Ta, Akayawa, Siti, Pamasapa, Shanayam, Akara, Ayawaba, Atana, Ata, Aimayataka, Pamasapa, Shanaya, Sabawa'atha, Yamakara, Laka, 16, Lapaya, Rab, Ashanaya, Ashanayam, Saraba, Wakonathewa, Walapayu, Ma'aita, Ashanaya, Sama'ayana, Yath, Wakonathawa, Ya, Masapa, Sabawa'atha, Awa'a, Maka, La'a, Santi, Wala'a, Tawanama, Tawanawa, Ayash, A, Aimayasawa, Wayara'atha, Ma Alahayaka, Ya, Wayashabatham, A, Aratiza, Labataha, Anaya, Yahawa, Alahayaka. Read English.
Yeah. Book of Leviticus, 25 and verse 11. A jubile shall that 50th year be unto you. You shall not sow neither reap that which groweth of itself in it, nor gather the grapes in it of thy vine undressed. For it is the jubile, it shall be holy unto you. Ye shall eat the increase thereof out of the field. In the year of this jubile ye shall return every man unto his possession. And if thou sell aught unto thy neighbor, or buyest aught of thy neighbor's hand, ye shall not oppress one another. According to the number of years after the jubile, thou shalt buy of thy neighbor, and according unto the number of years of the fruits he shall sell unto thee. According to the multitude of years thou shalt increase the price thereof, and according to the fewness of years thou shalt diminish the price of it. For according to the number of the years of the fruits doeth he sell unto thee. Ye shall not therefore oppress one another, but thou shalt fear thy God, for I am the Lord your God.
Right, so you see here once more where blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians, we had rules and laws among each other. As it really explicitly says here, we are not to what? Oppress each other. Right? This talking about commerce, it's talking about business, it's talking about the relation with each other. We are not supposed to what? Oppress each other like what the heathens do to us. Understand? Because these heathens oppress us with a huge bank loan interest and all the other taxes and all these different things that they bring upon us. These things, understand, continue to bring burdens upon Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian. These are the things that come and bring us and bring what generational debt inside of generational wealth. You understand? Student loans and all these different things. All these things come and become a burden upon Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. You understand? When these other nations, they don't have that, they don't suffer under these kinds of traps and pitfalls. You understand that they bring upon us by these systems. But right here, you see here, where the Most High given us, you understand, the opportunity, not just to help our brother, but not to oppress him, by having rules among ourselves. And these rules are important so that we can be able to what? Grow and live. You understand? So these are absolutely important. We say in verse 17, ye shall not therefore oppress one another, but thou shalt fear thy God. Because these things are important. But if we continue to what? Put stipulations and rules, you understand, that bind and hold each other down, because everybody's at different stages. You understand? And again, using the example of this student debt. As we know, in the US especially, this is a big thing, because this is passed on not just from you as a student, where you have hundreds of $1,000s in debt. Then this prevents you from what? Growing, from raising a family properly, from getting a house. It affecting your credit score, it affecting your loan interest, you understand? It affecting the quality of life that you would have or should have had if you didn't have this burden, you You understand the person? And then guess what? That burden also to get passed on to the next generation. You understand? So they are us having now doubly hard now in order to function and to really do what they're supposed to do. Right? And these are the rules and laws. Having the jubilee year, you understand after 50th year where if you was owing something, you understand? Our brother was indebted to you. Understand? You're supposed to release that brother from that debt. Give them a chance to recover. Because during that period, you were more than able to recover or recoup what was given at that point in time. All right, so we're going to continue reading. Come up now.
Yeah.
Nice.
No, it's still a bit.
We could do one. Can I read it and you will be English?
So you continue reading Hebrew. The book of Leviticus chapter 25 and verse 18. وأشيطم أف فبطيا وأتا وشقاتيا تشمراوا وأيشيطم أثم ويشابثم هأرتزا لبطاقة verse 19 ونطا نها هأرتزا أورياها وأقالثم لشبعاي ويشابثم لبطاقة عليا verse 20 ويقيا أثماروا ها نأقا وشنا أشبيا أيثا النا لآ نزرعاي ولآ نأصا أف Sabawa Athanawa, it's 1. Wataza Waya Apaya, Av, Warakath, Thea, Lacham, Washana, Ashashayatha, Waishaf, Af, Athabawaha, Lashalash, Ashanaya, verse 22, Wazara Aitha, Af, Ashana, Ashama, Yanath, Waakalatham, Hasabawala, Yashana, Aida, Ashana, Asashaya Aita, Aida, Wa'a, Sabawa'a, Ta'akalawa, Yashana, verse 23. Waha'a Salakia, Waha Arataza, La'a, Tamaka, Latazamatha, Laya, Laya, Arataza, Laya, Garayam, Washabayam, Atham, Imadayam, verse 24. Wabakal, Arataza, Achataza, Fatam, Ga'allah, Fathanawa, La Arataza. Can I read English?
The book of Leviticus 25 and verse 18. Whereof you shall do my statutes and keep my judgments and do them, and ye shall dwell in the land in safety, and the land shall yield her fruit, and ye shall eat your fill, and dwell therein in safety. And if ye shall say, what shall we eat the 7th year? Behold, we shall not sow nor gather in our increase. Then I will command my blessing upon you in the 6th year, and it shall bring forth fruit for 3 years, and ye shall sow the 8th year, and eat yet of all fruit until the 9th year, until her fruits come in, ye shall eat of the whole store. The land shall not be sold forever, for the land is mine. For ye are strangers and sojourning with me, and in all the land of your possession ye shall grant a redemption for the land.
That's it. Verse 24.
Yeah.
Salah kasi dulu.
Yeah, again, this is the importance of really actually knowing your history and knowing your culture. And sometimes you don't even understand why, you might be planting crops and it's in common, right? And when you look at, what is taking place here, there's always, regulations, rules that is put in place for the so-called Black, Latino, Native Indian. And despite, having those rules and regulations, the greatest of them all is to know that the Most High God, is a father, and he would always put things in place. So he eliminate, the complaints, eliminate, you murmuring, eliminate everything that that you would speak or you would say that would bring your father's name into question. And what we see here, again, that time period, that time frame, where the Lord would bless us, bless the nation, bless the land where we dwell on. And he would always, have it in a way that wherever we dwell, we would not, grow, in want of begging, as we see in the curses, in the earlier part of Deuteronomy chapter 28, where, as you say, our storehouses or baskets, will be filled, and we not, want. But being, who we are, and being, as children, there would come a time where, as a child grow older, we always like to use the phrase, like you start to get hair under your arm, like hair start to grow down there. So now you feel that, you're big and you can handle your business, not knowing to understand what is going on. It's for you to stay in line and to always remember that, with the guidance or what your father have laid before you, this could help you, and to help your seed after seed. This is why, again, it's a teaches unto your sons, unto your sons' sons. Why? Because they are the one who is going to be carried in that line, that lineage. And it is important for us to know our history, to know our records, and to know who we are, and to know why the Lord has chosen us. Because even right here, it said, I know, the Lord made it clear that, the land is his, made it clear. And if we do understand that, all this land dispute, all this, saying that, I own this, and, you taking credit for it, it goes to show it in a minute. The Lord could bring it from as I say, it can be up there and it can come down to north. Always remember, if it's for Black, Latino, and Native Indian, the positions that you were, are in or placed in, it wasn't by, by guess or by, the Lord always see it fit and, always gave us opportunity to excel, and in our excelling, it will bring, a reward. Yeah, it will bring, that aid to the nation in any situation that we we fall under. And this is why these things are reminders unto us, even till today. Right? So again, we're reading out the book of Leviticus, right? We are 25th chapter, and it shows and it gives us, a great, insight on, how the Lord, as a father, will always make those provisions. And he said, then I will command my blessing upon thee in the 6th year, and it shall bring forth fruit for 3 years. So imagine, the 7th year would be the rest of the land. And yielding or your storehouses, your baskets will be filled for 3 consecutive years in the time where the land will be at rest. Just like you, as we say, because remember now, you will look and say, well, everything that breathe, everything that need a rest. The land itself need a rest now, because in order for it to produce, it must have that time period. And look at the time period given within that space of time. And we see why at times, a lot of produce would not, come, as we say, or sprout in its season, because of that, time frame or that period of rest. The land that is not given, right? So again, this is a reminder for us, for Black, Latinos, and Native Indians, that we should take heed, in getting to know and getting to understand our culture, our history, and our records, right?
Okay. Continue.
Yeah.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 25, and verse 25. Kaya Yamawa, Akayaka, Wamakara, Maka Zathawa, Waba'a, Gaalawa, Akarab, Aliyawa, Waga'ala, Wamakara, Akayawa, verse 26. Wa'ayash, Yaka, La'a, Yahya, Lawa, Ga'al, Wahasha, Yahga, Yadawa, Wamataza'a, Kadaya, Ga'ala, Thawa, verse 27. Wahashabaw, Kashab, Shanaya, Makarawa, Wahashaya, Ta'aida, La'ayash, Asherah, Makara, Lawa, Washabah, Aka Zathawa, 28. Wa'ama, La'a, Mataza'a, Yadwa, Daya, Hashayab, Lawa, وهياها ومكراوة بيار أكنا أثوا أيدا شبتا هيوابا ويتزاء ويبار وشاب لأكاز ثاوة 29 وأياش كيا يمكوا ويا وشاب أياو كوام وهياثا كألاثوا أيدا ثم شناث ومكراوة يم فهيا كألاثوا وستتي وأما لا يغلال أيدا ولا أثا لوا شنا ثميام وكم أبياف أشار وأيرا أشرا لا أخم لتزا مياثا لقوا نا أتوا لدراثيو لا ويبال سيريون وبطيا أكتزاريوم أشا أيان لهم خم صبياب أي شدا أرتزا يخشب غالا سهيا لوا وبيابا يتزاء.
The book of Leviticus 25 and verse 25. If thy brother be waxen poor and hath sold away some of his possession, and if any of his kin come to redeem it, then shall he redeem that which his brother sold. And if the man have none to redeem it, and himself be able to redeem it, then let him count the years of the sale thereof, and restore the overplus unto the man to whom he sold it, that he may return unto his possession. But if he be not able to restore it to him, then that which is sold shall remain in the hand of him that hath brought it until the year of Jubilee. And in the Jubilee it shall go out, and he shall return unto his possession. And if a man sell a dwelling house in a walled city, then he may redeem it within a whole year after it is sold. Within a full year may he redeem it. And if it be not redeemed within the space of a full year, then the house that is in the walled city shall be established forever to him that bought it throughout his generation. It shall not go out in the Jubilee. But the houses of the villages which have no wall round about them shall be counted as the fields of the country. They may be redeemed, and they shall go out in the Jubilee.
Yes, go ahead.
So again, we seeing, and then again, they go more into depth again. And we know that every nation, that they would have, different, class of people, right? And despite you being to the point where, you would recognize as poor, in Israel, even the poor, you would hardly even recognize if they, ever had or they were without, because of the structure that was set up by the men, by the Lord, that men would always have, that spirit to always, look out for his brother, to redeem his brother in any situation, in any dire need. And despite you being to the point where you might be going, there'll always be a time period. And this is again the importance of actually, going through our records and going through our history, and to understand what the Lord, again, any good father would do, would always, set up a structure where, there would not be any dispute, where there would not be any, again, as scripture says, discord among the family, among the house. So-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Indians, we see what is taking place right now. And again, as these are oppressors or enemies, they are very persistent in making sure that you, or as we say, or this house be separated. Brothers being rivalry against brothers. And again, a perfect example, what we see is what taking place right now in Trinidad. Is that he with this heathen sitting to the top. And again, the ISPPK and the Commanding General has been saying this, that when the so-called white man, left, in the time where we gained, as we say, our quote-unquote independence, we just, inherited a new supervisor or new oppressor over us. And over a time period, you would see what took place when somebody who were brought here for wages and someone who was brought here out of their will. So it's like, I didn't choose to come here, but because of, slavery and because of oppression, then it's like, just as the scripture say, with no will or no might or no power within you, your own hands to refuse. And those who came here on as we say, on paid wages, look at their status, or look at their, as we say, their what they have built for that period of time, and look at us today. These records are important to us. This is why we should always recognize and understand the condition that our brothers and sisters face today. We should be the example, and we are the example in the ISPPK under Commander General Yan. Again, this is why we have food programs. This is why we have prison programs, because we know the enemies that are round about us. We understand why they, seek to devour seek to destroy us. But the importance of us gathering ourselves back, coming back to these instructions, is, you know, the most, as we say, glorious thing in the sight of the Lord. To see that, and say that brethren, that family come together. This is why we are high holy days, we have feast days. And again, as we read on and, you know, through, you know, the records on this, you know, Saturday, right? Again, this is a reminder for us, because now we would count the days like how the oppressor would label it and give it names. We understood that there was a time, as the scripture labeled in the beginning, that we would come that 7th day. And on the 7th day, as recorded, that would be a day that the Lord had made for us of rest. So it's like you labor and you're toiling in the field all week, as we say, 6 days. And on the 7th day, hey, spend that time with your family. Spend that time, with or have that time where you could, just back. And even it made provision as well, because the Lord showed that, hey, that what we might think, or teach what work is, he actually working as well. The priest in the school works as well. So it goes to show the mindset of of the people and the understanding of the scriptures outside of the truth, outside, in religion, in customs and ways of the society. Because we see it clear right here now, where the care for the poor was always, on the list of priorities, of being a priority. Again, the Lord is our Father, and he has a reputation, and his reputation would not be tarnished by any ignorance or anyone that, that would try to, let me say, move away from these instructions. By you moving away, then there's a punishment, then there's a judgment for that. This is why we need to hold fast to these instructions. This is why we need to take heed to these instructions. All right?
Next, please. Tabuo, one banyan shot.
Tabuo, one banyan shot. Yabasha Shakota. Yeah. If it's sit up front, if anybody come, if anybody come in for this.
Leviticus 25, verse 32. Verse 32. All right. Exodus chapter 25 and verse 32. Salakia.
Leviticus chapter 25 and verse 32. Wa'ai raya Allah wayam bataya salakia. Ay raya aka satam la'a lata ay walam taha yaha lala wayam. Verse 33. Wa amma yaga Allah mana Allah wayam waya taza'a mama mamaka salakia waya wa aya aka yatawa waya bala waya bataya ayraya Allah wayam wa'a aka satam bata waka banya yashala 34 washada salakia waga wawa rasha salakia Aira yaham la'a yamaka aya atazak aywalam awa'a laham verse 35 wakaya yamawak akayak amata yadawa aymak waha tazakat wawa tara wata washab wakaya aymak verse 36 al takak ma'a tuwa lashak wata rabayat waya rata ma'a tahayat wakaya akayak aymak verse 37 up tasapak la'a tana lawa manashak waba mara maya la'a tatana aklak falling to the 32, right? 32, 33, 34, 36, 38, right? 38 last verse. Verse 38. Anya Yahweh Allah ayakam asha what is the ya atakam ma'aratiza salakia mutazarium latata lakam up aratiza and aina laha yawaf lakam la'a lahayam. And that you reading in the Hebrew, in the English, right? Yeah, English. Oh, right. Right. The book of Leviticus, chapter 25 and verse 52. All right. Leviticus chapter 25 and verse 32. Right. Notwithstanding the cities of the Levites and the houses of the cities of their possession, may the Levites redeem at any time. And if a man purchase of the Levites, then the house that was sold and the city. All right. Right, notwithstanding, right. And the city of his possession shall go out in the year of Jubilee, For the house of the cities of the Levites are their possession among the children of Israel. But the field of the suburbs of their cities may not be sold, for it is their perpetual possession. And if thy brother be waxen poor and fallen in decay with thee, then thou shalt relieve him, yea, though he be a stranger or a sojourner, that he may live with thee. Take thou no usury of him, or increase, but fear thy power, that thy brother may live with thee. Thou shalt not give him thy money upon usury, nor lend him thy victuals for increase. I am the Most High your power, which brought you forth out of the land of Egypt, to give you the land of Canaan, and to be your power. And if thy brother that dwelleth by thee be waxen poor, and be sold, slack, 81. Yeah. All right. And then read in English.
So again, we see the importance of family and understanding, and like a father would step in any situation, and again the instructions being left by our father is that, hey, despite the condition of your brother, make sure that he's taken care of. Make sure. And this is what is very unseen in today. But again, the only place that they can find this actually happening is in the ISUPK under Commander General Yan. This is why when you see a lot of schools that are set up, some of these schools are barracks where brothers, sisters may have a chance to redeem themselves, and we here in the ISUPK under Commander General Yan, understand the importance of these instructions that were laid down, because the Lord made it clear. Made it clear to us. And he say, I am the Lord. That's all. Right. And he said, take thou no usury of him. Verse 36, or increase, but fear thy God, that thy brother may live with thee. Right? And as scripture said, the fear of the Lord is what? Is to understand and to know. Is the beginning when you understand what the Lord did for us. And this is why when we read on, we say that, remember, I was the one who brought you out of servitude. I was the one that freed you from the oppression that you were under. So never forget that. This is a reminder for us today. Right? That's it. Okay.
I want Jimmy to stand. Bruce.
Right now, Bariat and Banyam Banya Shala.
Bariat, Ban Banyamin, Banya Shah.
Yahweh Shamim Shagata.
Yahweh Shimon Shakata.
Yeah. That's really people are making this public.
Shadow comes.
Like when he comes next time, people will be out there.
Shadow comes.
So equipped with that.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 25 and verse 39. Wakaya Yamaya, Yamayawaka, Ahayaka, Aimaka, Wanamakara, Laka, La'a, the Iba, Bawa, Ibadatha, Iba, verse 40. Kashakaya, Katawasha, Yahaya, Aimaka, Aida, Shanatha, Ayaba, Yaiba, Aimaka, verse 41. Wayataza, Ma'aimaka, Wahawa, Wabana Yawa, Aimawa, Washa, Allah, Mashapa, Katawa, Wala'a, Akazatha, Abathayawa, Yashabawa, verse 42, Kaya, Ibadiah, Amma, Ashura, Athaya, Atham, Ma'aratiza, Matazaria, La'a, Yamakarawa, Mamakara, Iba, verse 43, La'a, Tarada, Bawa, Bapara, Wayarata, Ma'ala, Salakema, Alahayaka, verse 44, Wa Aiba Badayaka, Wa Aka, Wa Asakam, Ashar, Yahayawa, La'a, Ma'atha, Agawayam, Ashar, Sabaya, Batayakam, Baham, Tokanawa, Ibada, Watham, verse 45, Wagam, Mabanya, Athawa Shabayam, Agarayam, Imakam, Mahama, Tokanawa, Wa Mamosha, Wakatham, Shah, Imakam, Shah, Hawala, Yadawa, Waratazaham, Wahayaw, Lakam, Lakaza, who's selected. That's
Book of Leviticus 25 and verse 39. And if thy brother that dwelleth by thee be waxen poor, and be sold unto thee, thou shalt not compel him to serve as a bond servant, but as an hired servant, and as a sojourner. He shall be with thee, and shall serve thee unto the year of Jubilee, and then shall he depart from thee, both he and his children with him, and shall return unto his own family and unto the possession of his fathers shall he return. For they are my servants, which I brought forth out of the land of Egypt. They shall not be sold as bondmen. Thou shalt not rule over him with rigor, but shall fear thy God. Both thy bondmen and thy bondmaids, which thou shalt have, shall be of the heathen that are round about you. Of them shall ye buy bondmen and bondmates. Moreover, the children of the strangers that do sojourn amongst you, of them shall ye buy, and of their families that are with you, which they begat in your land, and they shall be your possession.
Right. So again, like it's showing you here as well, you being any, brother, any sister that owns, any business, right? This is a perfect example, how you should, deal with your brother, deal with your sister, vice versa. And a reminder for us, what we learn or we've been taught, we see the opposite of that when brothers and sisters who hold certain businesses or hold position, they deal, in that opposite manner where they would be very, very rigorous or very, vile to their brother, to their sister, because they take up customs and ways of the oppressor. And it mentioned here that you being that business owner, you being that person, you shouldn't have your brother or sister, as it mentioned, as any servant. Hear the difference between a hired servant and a servant. This is why it shows you the difference, that we came here as slaves. They came here as hired slaves. They were paid wages. If they want to say that they were slaves, they came here as hired slaves. And it shows a great difference, because we see it right here in our records. Despite you being, don't have this, I'd say, your brother, even though they're bound with you, let them be higher, let them be paid. This is again very important as well. And in being paid, don't deal with them, in any vile way or any rigorous way. Because the Lord, right, or that's like just here we see, remember your father. Right underneath it. Remember me. So before you even think to deal with your brother in any way, then remember me. Because you know why remember? Because now who put you in this position? Who bring you out of the condition that you're in? Because a lot of us would like to say, I come out of the ghetto and I make it to the top. No, you will deal with your brother in this way, and the Lord will make it clear. A clear statement. This is why the importance of us really understanding, to know our records and to know our history. Because it's full of ways that would solve any problem, any solution that we face today. Commanding General, and I've been bringing this out. The generals, the captains, the men that that come under the spirit of the Most High in Christ. They teach this. We teach this because we come under that same spirit, that same vibe, in that pursuing, in the place where brothers and sisters would have the ability to know that they are family. This is why we keep again these high holy days, these feast days, because it honor our forefathers, honor the Most High, looking down, and recognizing that there's still men that follow his instructions. There's still women that follow his instructions. There's still children that is being raised with these instructions. These are reminders to us, right?
Yeah, so like I say, family.
Yeah, go ahead.
Just to touch on quick what you're saying in that. You know, what you're saying is correct because there's a stark difference between, you understand, let's use us in terms of Trinidad here, a difference, right, between slaves, right, and indentured servants. Because some like, you know, some historians or some of them like to claim that, you know, we were slaves here too,
Right.
which is incorrect.
Right.
They were never slaves.
That's right.
Being a slave have different rules, different situations, and different laws affecting you. When they come here, they didn't come here as indentured slaves. They came here as indentured servants. And as you rightfully said, they were paid. And they were paid with different rules. When they came, they were paid a wage. They had the option to get 10 acres of land, and they had the option to go back home. You understand? That is not the, those are not the requirements of slavery. They were not beaten. Their rights were not taken away.
Right.
Their language were not taken away. Their customs were not taken away. They were free to practice and do all these things. You understand? Us being the children of Israel, what we went through, that was real slavery. Where our culture was stripped from us, our language was stripped from us, our dignity was stripped from us, and we weren't given the rights to even function. Even when these indentured servants came, you understand? We were still under, and even up to now, still under the repercussions and the oppression and the discrimination following from that slavery. Their descendants benefit from everything that they had.
That's right.
Our descendants benefited negatively, you understand, from what we went through, still being discriminated against. You understand? For example, Caroni 1975 Limited, our foreparents, you understand, built Caroni, clear the land, bring everything in place. And then when it came down to it, their people inherited as if they brought it to such glory.
Yeah, they don't want this claim that they all lucky in the
All that came, no,
Yeah,
they came and met that day.
all lucky.
They met that up and running. They met those things in place. You understand? But yet they claim it as if they work so hard and they strive so hard. No, you get everything with a platter in front of you. You understand? They were way advanced, way in front. As I said, they got land. We didn't get no land. We had to go and fight and scrape and find some corner. You understand? We were not provided with the amenities. You understand that they were provided with. So therefore, they were able. They got the advantage of a head start when they reach here. They got these supervisory positions. They get the ability to go and take loans in the bank. They had the favor of the so-called oppressor, the so-called white man, because they understood the caste system in India, how it operated. The British was already conquered them in terms of how they had their structure. So it was very easy to bring them as a class of people to circumvent us from getting what we're supposed to get. So they don't have to pay us wages, they don't have to pay us reparations. Look, we bring another class of people who will basically do what we say. And that is what they did, and have that so-called upper hand against the children of Israel. So like yes.
And again, we put up upside that, brought that a very valid point there as well. And in everything that is the nice part about it. They would look at this and say, well, hey, but we work in the field. So one thing we never mentioned, we didn't mention you all never did move. I'd say all the toilet fields, we never say all the toilet fields. But they would take this little I'd say this little snippet here and try to evolve it in a way that they're trying to see we didn't work to. So we never say that. It was never mentioned.
So what I really mentioned, I would keep carry this one. They never work the field. And the reason why I could say that because when we work the field, we work the field with whips on our backs.
Right.
You understand? With death. They had the option to still not work it.
Right.
They did not get the oppression to work that land. And so we got oppressed to work that land. They didn't work a quarter of how we work those lands. So like yes.
Right. And again, point taken, because the reason why I mentioned that is for one reason or one purpose. We understand, their way of thinking. We understand their way of, trying to blow things out of proportion. And even as simple as it is, they would again say that, what about we parents who work the land? Again, we didn't say you all didn't work it, but it was optional. It was optional. You had the option of doing it. Unlike us, as they say, we didn't have the option. Everything that was on us was forced. They had an option, and again, you listed it correct. So this is a reminder for us. This is a reminder for so-called Blacks, Latinos, and Native Indians, right? That we should understand this, that the people that are wrong about us, despite, they being or recognized as who they are today, they were always servants beneath us. They would always, do what it takes and follow just again whoever is in authority. And this is why, as you say, our oppressor would always, make them out, because again, they have records as well. And they would always know who they would put in whatever position that they are in today. They didn't just bring down, as we say, the East Indians here because they as we say, they crashed the textile industry. It was strategically planned. When we go back and we read in the records, who was close up to them under them? When we read in the book of Esther, the so-called white man or oppressor was close up to underneath them. So they had basically a common or mutual understanding. And again, this is why David in his prayer, he highlighted a lot of them. So they, in positions, they already knew who they would use. They use the term African. Again, they know that this is something that would sway our minds or move us from our custom, our culture. We wouldn't even recognize our brother, poor, not poor, rich. We wouldn't even recognize that. Because they, again, just as I mentioned, they had the opportunity to keep their custom, their ways, their culture, whereby we were as we say, were threatened in any, doing or practicing their term, just like we see what happening right now with all these boats, without any judgment. Brothers fishing in on the sea. A lot of people recognizing what is going on. You know what they're recognizing it as? As murder, without any judgment. We should really understand, our, as you say, our place in this society, and how we would recognize that is by, as we say, by coming to these, as we say, these Sabbath days, these feast days, by coming to class. Because now you might perceive out there that they know. We're not saying that brothers and sisters who have our knowledge or can do it, but the understanding is where we would be consumed by. Because now they would use their doctrines, their philosophy, and their understanding and consume us. This should be a reminder to us. Right?
So much, Mr. Son. Yes, please.
Michael, ban Valerian, ban Shell.
Right, ban Valerian, ban Shell.
All our ship, come.
Yahweh Shem Shem.
Yes. Alright, yes, just that if the food you have, or if you want outside, got to get a then.
Oh, yeah.
Get a ring. Get a ring. Now,
We had 47.
get a ring.
47.
Yeah. That's 25. 47.
Waya. Tash. Ta. Tash. Ta. Shala. Ya. Ya. Dara. Wata. Washa. Aima. Wama. Wama a kaya. Aimawa. Wana. Mara.
Somebody 49. Yeah.
Something. Tawa. Sha. Aima. Lawa. Kora. Masha. Mashapaf. Verse 48. Akara. Nama. Para. La'a. Ta. Taha. Lawa. Akat. Aha. Yawa. Ya. Lanawa. Awadawa. Dadawa. ha'a lanawa, awa masha, kwasha rawa, mamasha, pa katawa, shala'a lanawa, awa, hasha la'a, ha salake ha dawa, wana Allah, wahasha, aima, kwa na hawa, mashanata, hama, kuwa, lawa, aid, shanata, haya, salake yahawa, aipa, mama, kowa, koma, aipa, shanama, hawa, shaya, yaha, aimawa, kwama, aiwada, gawa, gasha, yama, lapa, yahawa, yasha, yara, alatawa, ma'aipa, shakwa, natawa, wa'ama, ma'ai pata, nasha, ara, gasha, nayama, aida, shana, tahaya, wa Aisha, Laya, I Paya, Shana, Yawa, Yashaya, Rata, Allah, Tawa. Tasha, Tashaya, Shana, Shanaha, Shana, Shanaya, Yaha, Aimawa, La'a, Yara, Danawa, Gapa, La'ai, Yanawa. That is number 53. Carry. What was that slack?
47.
What is the 25 to 42.
Or 47.
And if a sojourner, a stranger, wax rich by thee, and thy brother that dwelleth by him wax poor, and sell himself unto the stranger or sojourner by thee, or to the stock of the stranger's family, after that he is sold, he may be redeemed again. One of his brethren may redeem him. Verse 49, either his uncle or his uncle's son may redeem him, or any that is nigh of kin unto him, of his family may redeem him. Or if he be able, he may redeem himself, and he shall reckon with him that brought him from the year that he was sold unto him, unto the year of Jubilee. And the price of sale shall be according to the number of years, according to the time of an hired servant, it shall be with him. If there be yet many years behind, according unto them he shall give again the price of his redemption out of the money. Verse 52, that he brought the money that he was brought for. Verse 52, and if there remain but few years unto the year of Jubilee, then he shall count with him according unto his years shall he give him again the price of his redemption. Verse 53, and as a yearly hired servant shall he be with him. and the other shall not rule with rigor over him in the sight. In thy sight, Salakia.
So again, as you know, we continue to read on, see more of these instructions being laid down, more, of these instructions being made known or to us as a family and a house. These instructions is very important for us today, right? Now,
Say more Jimmy to start.
Maria, Banyanyam, Banyashala.
Maria, Banyanyam, Banyashala.
How about some of Shabra? Come.
How about some of Shabbat? Continue reading in the book of Leviticus, chapter 25 and verse 54 in the Hebrew. Wa ma la'a yaga Allah ba'alaha wa yataza wa shanath ayabal awa'a wa manayawa aymawa 65 ya leya banya yashala aybadaya ashar awataza athaya awatam Matazariah, Anaya, Yahweh, Alahayakim. The book of Leviticus, chapter 26 and verse 1. La'at, Aishawa, Lakam, Alahayim, Wa Pasal, Wa Matazabaha, La'at, Tokayawa, Lakam, Wa Aban, Mashakayaf, La'at, Tatanawa, Ba'aratazahim, Lahasha Thakawaf, Ilaha, Iya, Anaya, Yahweh, Alahayakam. Verse 2. Ata Shabbath Taya, Sashamarwa, Wamakwad the Shaya, Tayara Awa, Anaya, Yahweh. Verse 3. Amma, Bakakwasaya, Falakawa, Wata, Matazawa Fiaka, Tashamarwa, Wa Aishayatum, Atham, verse 4. Wanatafaya, Gashamayakam, Wa Aitham, Wanatan, Avataza, Yamawa, Wa Aitiza, Ashada, Yatan, Harayawa. That's it.
The book of Leviticus 25 and 55 and 54. And if he be not redeemed in these years, then he shall go out in the years of Jubilee, both he and his children with him. Verse 55. For unto me the children of Israel are servants. They are my servants, whom I brought forth out of the land of Egypt. I am the Lord your God. The book of Leviticus, (26) and verse 1. Ye shall make ye no idols, nor graven image, neither rear you up a standing image, neither shall ye set up any image of stone in your land to bow down unto it. For I am the Lord your God. Ye shall keep my Sabbaths and reverence my sanctuary. I am the Lord. If ye walk in my statutes and keep my commandments and do them, then will I give you rain in due season, and the land shall yield her increase, and the trees of the field shall yield their fruit, and your
Right? So again, we come to the end of the service, to the end of the class. Just a reminder for brothers and sisters, Lord allow, next week we follow up on what is taking place here. And just a reminder, as we end the 25th chapter, the Lord reminded us of something. And we should understand that and be made known to every other nation whom the Lord chooses. Because he say unto him, we are his servants. And meaning that we will carry out, what instructions is being passed down, uphold the integrity and the reputation of the Lord in doing his service, in being, the example of, what the Lord require of, anyone that follow his instructions. And today, we in the ISUK under Commander General Yana, uphold and follow these instructions. This is a reminder for us, right? So again, you join us, Lord alone, next week, Saturday, right here in number 1 Morris Street, Point 14. Come on down to the building, come ask your questions, right? In the classes, the Sabbath service classes. Again, we have classes during the week. Again, we have our radio program, Street 91.9 FM, right? You can join us every Tuesday from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m., right? This,
All right. We say imagine which means to stand.
Shalom to Israel.
Men of Israel, gird up thy loins and salute the Torah.
Yahweh Hashem Yeshua
So, Yahweh Hashem Yeshua.
Yahweh Hashem Yeshua
Baba Hashem Yahshua Barakiyah. Sir?
Yahweh Shem Yahshua Barakiyah.
Sir? Say, Mother, open your down to the right of his east, south, which means it. To the Lord's Prayer in Hebrew.
Abanawa,
Shema,
Shemayim,
Yah,
Kodas,
Yah,
Yah,
Ka,
Shabaka, Yahweh, Zapaka, Ba, Zaka, Ayah, Aisha, Barataza, Bawa, Ayah, Shemayim, Nathan, Nawa, Makam, Kal, Yawam, Masalakno, Kabatna, Masalakno, Kabatna, Ala, Tabenawa, Sawan, Bal, Shine, Ayan, Rai, Kaya, Aka, Alakwa, Bal, Parak, man. In the English, our Father, that in heaven, thy name, Yahweh, thy kingdom come, thy will be done, in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Forgive us our debts, as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So be it. Yahweh, Hashem, Yahushai, Yahukasha, Tanawa, Kak, Kak, Ba, Kal, Nawad, Kak, Ataha, Zakarai, Kak, Akwe, Mafia, Kak, Arakwal, Mala, Barashan, Hashem, Yahushai, Tawada, man in English, Yahweh, name of Yahushai. Please give us the power to heal all manner of sickness and all manner of disease, for to cleanse the lepers, for to raise the dead, for against unclean spirits, cast them out. In the name of Yahushua. Thank you. So be it.
When he said he blessed Israel, Yahweh,
Yahweh, Hashem, Yahushai, Rakunawa, Ashala, Abiyat, Shipari, Barak, Hashem, Yahushai, Tawadaman. In the English, Yahweh, name of Yahushua. Bless us and Israel and the school. Name of Yahushua. Thank you. So be it.
Psalm 121 in Hebrew. Asha,
Asha, Ayan, Alariam, Ayan, Ba, Zaria, Zaria, Ayam, Yahweh, Aisha, Shemayim, Ratza, Rathan, Awad, Gaka, Elwam, Shemaka, Na, Elwam, Ba, Yeshan, Shawma, Yashal, Yahweh, Shemaka, Yahweh, Zaka, Yan, Yaka, Yawma, Shemash, La, Kaka, Rak, Yala, Yahweh, Shemaka, Parai, Shema, Atmaska, Yahweh, Shema, Tadafa, Waka, Asa, Aid, Ivolam. Psalms 121 in English. I will lift up my eyes unto the hills, from whence cometh my help cometh from Yahweh, which made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. Behold, he that keepeth Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep. Yahweh is thy keeper, Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right hand. Sun shall not smite thee by day, nor the moon by night. Yahweh shall preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. Yahweh shall preserve thy going out and thy coming in from this time forth and even forevermore.
You'll say Psalm 83 in Hebrew. Alahai,
Alahai,
Aldamayalaka,
Alamalaka, Ataparat, Ataspa, Kaina, Wayaka, Amayawan,
Wamashanayaka,
Shmeaka,
Nara,
Nara, Maka,
Arayakwa,
Rumwa,
Aldazapawan, Maru,
Mawa,
Kawa,
Kawa,
Wanayakadam,
Kadam,
Magawia,
Gawi,
Alaha, Yazaka,
Yazaka,
Samia,
Samia,
Aiwa,
Wa,
Ya,
Ya,
Laba, Yakarwa, Aliaka, Bariak, Yakaraswa, Ahalia, Adewam, Wayatamai, Alayam, our Abba, Habarai, Gibal, Aimawa, Salasha, Imesha, Tazabo, Gamashawa, Aima, Ayawa, Sarawak, Kanyawa, Aishalaham, Madia, Yasara, Yabia, Anaka, Yashua, Ashamalu, Yad, the Arab, Ayawa, the Ma, Adam, Yatam, Dayam, Iraq, what is that? Zabak, Kata, Tazamanai, Kalasi, Ashab, Marwa, Rasha, Nawaf, Nawaf, Alahaya, Shatama, Gagana, Kwash, Lapanya, Rawaka, Kaash, Ira, Alahaba, Lahab, Ariam, Khan, Latna, Masaraika, Abasa, Paska, Samahala, Panyaham, Walawan, Wayamakashwa, Yahawa, Yabashwa, Hawa, Adiai, Power, Yabado, Yadai, Yatha, Shamka, Yahawa, Baka, Ayawan, Alkaha, Ratata. Psalm 83 in the English. Keep not thou silence, O Yahweh, hold not thy peace, and be not still, O Yahweh, for lo, thy enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up their head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come, and let's cut them off from being a nation, the name of Israel, be no more in remembrance, for they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee, tabernacles of Edom, the Ishmaelites, Moab, Nagarenes, Gebal, Ammon, Amalek, the Philistines, with the inhabitants of Tyre, and Sir, also is joined with them. They have happened, children of Lot, Salah, do unto them, and to the Midianites, as to Sarah, as to Jabin, and the ring of your son, which perished at the end of. They became as dung for the youth. Make the nobles like Oreb, say, yea, all the princes, Sabah, Zalmunna, said, and let's take to ourselves those of Yahweh in possession. O my power, make them like a wheel, as a stub before the wind, as the fire burneth the wood, and as the flame setteth the mountains on fire. So persecute them with thy tempest, and make them afraid with thy storm. Fill their faces with shame, that they may seek thy name. O Yahweh, let them be confounded and troubled forever. Yea, let them be put to shame and perish, that men may know that thou, whose name alone is Yahweh, art the Most High over all the earth. I should begin curses. Blessed are you, Yahweh, King of heaven and earth, and all things living. Yahweh, the name of Yahweh shine. Listen to us now, right now. Send evils and curses and punishment and destruction to the heathen that speak against us, thy prophets, the teachers, the priests, the princes, the priests, the Israelite brothers, and the school. Send evils and curses and punishment and destruction to the heathen, and shake loose the treasure of the rich of Israel that refuse to give to the school, force their riches to enter into thy sanctuary. Send evils and curses and punishment and destruction to the Edomites and the nations and their drug dealers, the court system, the prison system, Planned Parenthood, all the government of our enemies, Amalek synagogues and armies, Roman Catholic Church, the Pope, Islam, Christianity, Egyptology, militia, Klux Klan, Indian Nation, skinheads, Pascomatazi, gay movement, lesbian movement, spies, workers of witchcraft, NASA space program, Army, Navy, Air Force, Marine, Wall Street, open up the internet and the airwaves, the cable access channels and the radio channels. Convict the spirit
of any of thy people that seek to stop us, and bring swift destruction to all the heathen that stand in the way or try to stop us from broadcasting your words throughout the planet earth. Let loose all the plagues, cause them to go to and fro through the earth and consume them. Let the plagues shake the house of the thief and the murderer. Let Yahushai, Michael, and Gabriel come down with the flying saucer and punish all the heathen that come up against us as we speak thy words, cause it to be known by all that it's the angels that have done it, cause it to be spread through the media, throughout the whole world, cause them to shake at thy coming. Name of Yahushai. Thank you always. So be it.
This concludes today's Sabbath service. When I praise, we're going to give one courtesy salute. I'm on the Shabbat. Majum, Rak, Is there anybody who would like to get anointed? With that concludes today's service. Yeah.